Imagine being a German soldier during World War II, witnessing your country's march toward war, and deciding, you know what? Someone's got to stop this. Well, one man did, and his warning could have changed history. This is the story of the German who tried to warn the Soviets. It's the late 1930s, and Europe is teetering on the edge of chaos. Adolf Hitler, brimming with confidence after annexing Austria and taking a bite out of Czechoslovakia, is preparing for something much bigger. His gaze? Locked firmly on the Soviet Union. The German-Soviet Non-Aggression Pact of 1939, also known as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, was supposed to be a gentleman's agreement between the two powers. Spoiler, it was anything but. Secretly, both sides knew this truce was temporary. Hitler, in particular, had a plan. Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. But one man saw the storm brewing and decided to act. His name? Richard Sorge. Richard Sorge wasn't your average German citizen. Born in the late 1800s, he was a journalist, intellectual, and plot twist, a Soviet spy. That's right, Sorge was Germany's worst-kept secret, working undercover in Tokyo as a Nazi-sympathizing reporter while feeding Stalin's regime critical intel. Here's the kicker. Sorge wasn't some double agent motivated by money. He was an idealist. He genuinely believed in communism and saw Nazi Germany for what it was, a ticking time bomb that would drag the world into chaos. In 1941, Sorge uncovered the mother of all intel. Hitler was planning to launch Operation Barbarossa, a massive surprise invasion of the Soviet Union. He sent detailed warnings back to Moscow, complete with dates, troop numbers, and even the exact day the attack would begin, June 22nd, 1941. This wasn't some vague, the enemy is coming heads up. It was precise, actionable, and, most importantly, accurate. Sorge had laid it all out on a silver platter for the Soviets. Now, you'd think Stalin would have reacted with the urgency of a man whose house was on fire. But nope. Stalin dismissed Sorge's warnings as nonsense, calling them disinformation. Why? Because Stalin trusted no one, not even his own spies. In fact, Sorge wasn't the only one sending alarms. Soviet intelligence sources across Europe were lighting up like a Christmas tree with news of the impending attack. But Stalin, paranoid and convinced it was all a British ploy to drag him into war, ignored every single one. Even as German tanks rolled toward the Soviet border, Stalin refused to believe it. When the invasion finally came, the Red Army was caught completely off guard. The result? Utter devastation. Back in Tokyo, Sorge's luck ran out. In 1941, Japanese authorities arrested him, uncovering his network of spies. He was interrogated, tortured, and eventually executed in 1944. His warnings, though accurate, never received the recognition they deserved, at least not in his lifetime. Ironically, Richard Sorge is celebrated more in modern Russia than in Germany. He's remembered as a hero who tried to change the course of history, even if his warnings fell on deaf ears. Now, let's play the ultimate game of what if. What if Stalin had believed Sorge? Could the Soviets have fortified their defenses in time? Could they have saved millions of lives lost during the initial stages of Operation Barbarossa? While we'll never know for sure, one thing's clear. Richard Sorge's story is a reminder that even the most heroic efforts can go unnoticed, and sometimes the truth gets buried under the weight of ego and paranoia. So, there you have it. The tale of the German who warned the Soviets, a man who saw the storm coming and tried to sound the alarm, only to be ignored by the very people he was trying to save. History is full of unsung heroes like Sorge. If you want to hear more stories about people who tried to save the world while the world wasn't listening, subscribe to the channel. It's like getting a time machine for your brain, minus the weird paradoxes.